Hello, I'm Andrea from Forkable Blog. Welcome to another installment of our video blog series. And today I'm going to be sharing with you my most secret recipe. We're going to be making my peach cobbler today, which is a super quick, super easy recipe that knocks out amazing results. And when you have a surprise guest stop by and say, "Oh, would you like a little sweet treat?" and you run into the kitchen and whip this together and you bring it out a half hour later, all of your guests will be stunned and amazed. And it's part of the reason why I have a reputation for being a good cook. But once people see this, they'll realize that there's nothing to it. It's as easy as, well, I was going to say pie, but we'll say it's as easy as cobbler. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to take a square Pyrex bowl. We're going to melt some butter. I'm just going to come into my refrigerator here and grab a stick of butter. I've already kind of cut into it, but I'm going to come over here and grab a knife. I don't know if you can see that back there. I went behind camera again. I like doing that. Anyways, it's going to be 1/4 of a cup, so that's half of a stick. So I'm just going to cut that in half, and then I'm just going to shove this little section back in the fridge. Anyways, we're just going to take the paper off and put it in our bowl, and then we're going to put it in our microwave for about 45 seconds. So while that's going, we're going to get started on our dry batter. So we're going to walk over here to the pantry and grab our flour and our sugar and baking powder. Okay. This recipe is super easy. It's a cuppa. Any of you Steel Magnolias fans will remember that's the line that Dolly Parton uses to give a recipe, but it's true. That's what this is. It's a cuppa. 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of flour, and the 3rd cup is a cup of milk, which we will add later. But we just mix our flour and our sugar together, and then to finish off the dry batter, we're going to get 2 tablespoons of baking powder. So just knock that in there, and then we're going to grab some salt, and it's just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So put this stuff back over here. Okay, and I will grab a whisk. Okay, so we're just going to mix it together with a whisk, and this is basically your dry batter ready to go. One thing that I also like to do is I'll already have this mixed together, and I'll just store it in a jar so that when I want to make this recipe, it's even faster. I already have my dry mixture ready to go. So now we're just going to take the butter out of my very fancy microwave. I know, it was free, whatever. You don't need a nice microwave. Anyway, so as you can see, the butter is all melted, and we're just going to leave it in the base of the pan, and this is going to be our cooking dish. So now we're ready to add the liquid into our dry mixture to form a batter. So we're going to go over to the refrigerator and pull out some milk, whatever milk you prefer. And we're going to mixture the 3rd cup. So I remember when I was in life skills in high school, my teacher gave me a B on this one project because I measured the liquid in a dry measuring cup. You're supposed to use a liquid measuring cup, but my attitude is it's already dirty. I don't want to dirty another dish, so I'm not going to let it bother me. So anyways, 3rd cup. Ooh, a little milk spurting out. So we'll just mix this up together. And you can use a hand mixer if you want, but I'm just using a whisk because it goes pretty fast, and I like to show how to use basic cooking implements. You don't need fancy cooking implements to make this dish. Anyway, so just until it's like lump free. And then we're going to grab a spatula here. It's as easy as just pouring this batter straight into the cooking pan. So basically what we're doing here is we're just doing, you know, a simple flour batter that gets poured into the melted butter, and when it cooks, the melted butter will kind of fry the cake. So I wouldn't say it's exactly low fat, but it certainly is delicious. Now that we have our batter in our pan, we'll add the peaches, which is what makes the peach cobbler. So I just had this jar of canned peaches. You can use canned, fresh, or frozen fruit. But I've already got some peaches spooned out, but you want to just like separate the peaches from the juice. And then take the peaches and spoon them in so they just sort of like plop into the batter. And try and evenly distribute them. Like that. So we're using canned peaches, but as I said, you can use frozen fruits as well. So I have some frozen raspberries, frozen blueberries I've used this with. Whatever, you can be really flexible with like what you have around the house. I think just for fun, maybe we'll add a little bit of like these frozen raspberries and make like a peach Melba cobbler. So we'll just like take some frozen berries and sprinkle them around. And make it a little bit more colorful and attractive. And then to finish it off, I'm just going to take some of our sugar and sprinkle a teaspoon or two on top, just to give the top a nice glaze. And so it's ready for the oven. I've already preheated at 400 degrees, so just going to slide this in and set the timer for 30 minutes and let it bake. So we'll check back in 30 minutes. Okay, so our timer just went off and it's time to take the cobbler out. We had checked it after 30 minutes, but it wasn't quite done. The top wasn't golden enough, so we put it in for another 10 minutes. So it's been baking at 400 for about 40 minutes. And now you can see the top is nice and golden and the sides have been nice and golden, frying in that melted butter. So we'll just let it sit on the stove top, turn the oven off, and let it sit on the stove top for about 10 to 15 minutes to solidify before serving. All right, so our cobbler has been sitting out now for, I don't know, a good 10-15 minutes, and it's ready for serving. So I'm just going to spoon it out of the dish, and you can see it's still a little warm and steamy. We've got the peaches, we've got the raspberries coming out, and then we'll just grab a little spoon of vanilla ice cream to serve it with, and voila, dessert is served and ready to eat. Let's get a little bite of this and sample it out. Absolutely delicious. Quick and easy, ready to serve in about 40 minutes. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope to see you next time.